and good morning and welcome to day 40. So spent a night here at the beautiful Ethan Pond. I had a nice tent platform, slept great last night. I got about 12 miles to go. I'm going to go up to the Galehead Hut and see if I can't get a work for stay. It's about 12 miles. About 4.5 or 5 miles is the Zealand Falls Hut, and I'm going to head up there and see if I can't get some breakfast leftovers. This is turning into the leftover tour. So I'm going to get moving, and I'll check in later. And remember our Gold Star families, and Recon out. So nice morning. It's supposed to start raining tonight, I think about 10 o'clock. So I'm going to try to get up to the Galehead Hut and see if I can't get a work for stay. I might even be willing to pay for a bed if they're not full, just to not be out in the rain. And then tomorrow I'll head into Lincoln, New Hampshire. I've already messaged the Notch Hostel there, and I'll reserve a bed there for tomorrow night just to dry out. Anyway, things are going well. I'm having some pain in my right foot. Yesterday I slipped coming down off Webster Cliff and smashed the inside of my right foot into a rock, a big rock. And in a different episode, I smacked my right kneecap into another rock. And it turns out there's a lot of rocks out here. I mean, who knew? I guess New Hampshire is basically made out of rock. And there's always one you can run into or crash into. So anyway, all's well. Things are all functioning pretty much normally, and I will continue on. So I just had the most amazing experience. I just came across a northbound thru hiker. Her name is Dragonfly. It's DRAG'NFLY, because sometimes she drags and sometimes she flies. Dragonfly is 83 years old, and she's northbound thru hiking. If she completes this hike, she'll be 84. She'll be the oldest person to ever thru hike the Appalachian Trail. Nimblewill Nomad is the previous record holder at 83. And she says she knows him quite well, actually. She was a delightful lady. I did not get video because I did not want to stick the camera in her face, but I did get a selfie, and I'll post that with the video. So I think it was just the coolest thing to meet an 83-year-old woman going northbound out here. And it was very exciting for me. And if she makes it, she'll actually be a pretty famous person. So happy trails, Dragonfly. So, I'm still grinning from meeting Dragonfly. I mean, I'm just so impressed. And she was just a delightful lady. She's very small. Her back isn't really as big as she is. And I'm out here thinking that my knee is hurting, my foot's hurting. And here this little lady who's 20 years older than me is out here just cranking it out. So anyway, happy trails, and Godspeed to you, Dragonfly. It's quite a rock pile. It's coming off those cliffs up there. It's probably been piled up here for millions of years. That's huge. It makes me wonder, like, what it would take to get that whole thing coming down. Like, if you just pulled like one of these boulders loose down here, the whole thing would just come crashing down. All right, so I am leaving the Zealand Falls Hut. My breakfast leftover plan failed miserably. There's a group of scouts ahead of me, And the teenagers descended on the leftovers like locust. So anyway, I was able to get a piece of cake and some coffee, and moving on. There's 7 miles to the Galehead Hut, and I'm going to try to get a work for stay there. There's no water, so finally learned my lesson. I'm going to carry 2 liters. It weighs a ton. It's 4.5 pounds of water, but I'm tired of running out. So off I go. I get about 2,000 feet of vertical and about 7 miles. I'll check in later. Semper Fi and Recon out. About 3 miles to Galehead Hut. Just popped up back above tree line, Mount Guyot, Guyot. So a little 360 panorama here. It's kind of cloudy and ugly out. It's supposed to rain later, but I'll be down off of here, I'm sure, before that happens. Look at this mess. So going up here, and this is the last climb of the day, and then I'll descend the backside of this. This is called South Twin Mountain, I think. And the Galehead Hut will be down there, but it looks like I climbed myself right into a cloud. I mean, like literally, like I'm in the clouds. Look at this. Whew. So anyway, it's 4:30 in the afternoon. I'm at about the 11.5 mile point for the day, and I'm kind of tired, and I'm ready to get down there. So a patch of sunshine way over there. But I thought I would video this because it's kind of neat, because I am basically going into a cloud. All right, I'm going to end day 40 here at the Galehead Hut. You can see the clouds are kind of rolling in here behind me, and it's supposed to storm tonight, so I wanted to stay in the hut. The best part is that I got another work for stay. So if you remember, I come in here when the paying guests, are all done eating. Then myself and the other work for stay will go in and help clean up, do some chores, wipe up the table, sweep, and that kind of thing. And then we get to eat all the leftovers, which is a ton of food usually. And then we get to sleep on the floor for free. So, I mean, I get money. I could easily pay to stay here, but why not? You know, the whole work for stay thing is just part of the thru hiking experience. And it saved me like 150 bucks. So that made my wife happy. So for now, Recon out. I'm checking out from the Galehead Hut and Semper Fi, and I'll get up with you in the morning. Good morning and welcome to day 41. I think it's Tuesday, and had a decent night at the Galehead Hut last night. Had a good dinner. They fed us really well. So, you know, cleaned up, wiped the tables down, swept the floor, and then we got fed really well. Blew up our air mattresses, slept on the floor. Had a hard time getting to sleep, I think probably because I was sore. I mean, I was just kind of beat up from yesterday. It was a long day. And then I woke up this morning and I could barely walk. I think I mentioned yesterday I slipped and smacked the inside of my right foot on a rock. And so it swelled up last night and got really stiff. But it seems okay now. I mean, I can walk on it, so it's just bruised, obviously. Anyway, I've got about 12.5, 13-ish miles. I've got to go up Lafayette and across Franconia Ridge. So hopefully that'll be okay weather-wise. We had a huge storm at about 3 o'clock in the morning with lots of thunder and lightning. And I think it's a 40% chance of thunderstorms today. So you can't be up on the ridge when it's thundering and lightning. I'm hoping to scoot across that later without getting any storm action. So I'm going to go down. It's going to be wet and slippery today. It's going to be a very slow, tedious day. But when I get to I-93, I've got a reservation at the Notch Hostel in Lincoln, New Hampshire. And they'll come pick me up and take me back, where I can clean up, get a shower, do some laundry, and have a soft bed for the night. So I'm going to get moving. It's 7 a.m. and this is Recon. And please remember our Gold Star families, like and subscribe to the channel. And if you don't mind, go to the channel and click on the link to the Gold Star Family Fundraiser. Semper Fi, and I'll catch up later. I wanted to point something out. So you can see there's a ton of water coming down. That's the trail there. And the water is rushing down the trail. But then it gets to this spot here and it's diverted away. So this line of rocks right across here is a water bar. And the water gets diverted off that way. So it's not running down the trail. And you're going to see these every 30 feet or so. And then that's the trail down there. So you don't see these in Maine at all. The water just rushes down the trail and erodes it out really badly. Whereas New Hampshire, they have these water bars. And you see these mostly in the south as well. So I like that because it keeps the trail in better condition. Although obviously much more work for the trail crew to build these things. So far, so good this morning. There's actually some patches of blue breaking through. I'll get down to I-93 and Lincoln. I'll have 25 miles left to Glencliff. Glencliff is after Mount Moosilauke, which is considered to be either the end or the start of the White Mountains. So after today, I'll have about 25 miles of the White Mountains left, and then I'll put those behind me. So quick shout out to my son, Reed. He has been the one posting these videos. When I get reliable Wi-Fi, I upload the clips to Google Drive, and then he takes them down, edits them, watches the whole thing, and then puts it on YouTube. So I'm just really grateful to him. I don't think I could do this without him. He's going back to college in the next month or so. I hope he can continue to do this. But Reed, I love you. You're doing a great job, and thank you so much. I forgot to mention that I had a chance meeting at the Galehead Hut last night. So there were 2 northbound thru hikers that I met down in Virginia in May, like 2.5 months ago, back when I was doing my training video. I was out for a 4 or 5 day training hike, and I met them both at different nights. And I told them both, I said, well, I'll probably see you guys in a couple months in New England. And sure enough, they came marching into the hut last night. So it was fun to see them, and they've hiked about 1,800 miles so far. And they are still trucking away, and that's it. There we go. There's rolling thunder in front of me there, and that's the trail, and it is literally a waterfall. We are going up that. That's insane. We climbed right up that thing, and that water is cold. Climbing Mount Lafayette to get up on Franconia Ridge. It's about 12:48. So unfortunately, you can see it's pretty fogged in right now, and you can see up behind me, the trail is pretty steep. It goes up through those rocks there. So I hope this clears out so I can get a view, because there's supposed to be magnificent views from here. I'm gonna keep going. Still climbing Lafayette. As you can see, it's foggy. It's extremely windy and cold and gray and ugly. And unfortunately, no views on what is one of the most spectacular sections of the trail. So that's a shame. But at least it's not storming. Ooh, got my toe caught on a rock there, almost went down. Anyway, I'll put the camera away and keep walking. All right, completed Franconia Ridge, and went over Lafayette, and then Lincoln, Haystack. I think it was all of them. Anyway, just as you saw, windy, foggy, cold, couldn't see anything. It was unfortunate, but I am still grateful that it wasn't thunderstorming. So I've got about 4.5 miles and about 3,200 feet to get down to the interstate where the hostel is going to pick me up. So I still got a lot of work ahead of me here, and it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon, so I'm going to get moving. So slight change of plans. I'm still descending. I've got about 3 miles and maybe 2,000 feet of vertical to do to get down to the road and get a ride into the hostel. However, it's 4:30, 4:24 p.m. and it's wet. The rocks are all slippery, and there's a tent site coming up here. So I think what I'm going to do is go into the tent site, set my tent up, camp tonight. I just feel like I need a rest. I've done 51 miles in the last 4 days through the White Mountains, so I'm pretty smoked. I think I need a break. I'm going to stay there tonight, sleep in the tent, sleep in tomorrow, and then I'll leisurely roll in to the hostel tomorrow at maybe noon or 1, and then just take the rest of the day to kind of recuperate. So anyway, that's the plan. I'm going to go down here and find a tent site. And good morning from day 42. Spent the night here on this lovely wooden tent platform. It was really quite pleasant. I had dinner, and it was in my tent by 6:30 p.m. Was able to listen to an audiobook for a while, and then I slept great. It's rained all through the night. It's raining now. If it's not raining, it's foggy and it's dripping out of the trees, so it's wet and kind of nasty. I'm just going to head on down. I've got about 3 miles, I think, and maybe 2,000 feet of vertical to get down to I-93, where the shuttle from the Notch Hostel will pick me up. I think I'm going to make this a Nero, which means near zero. I'm just going to go down there and spend the day. I've got to buy food. I've got to get dried out, do my laundry, and plan on getting back on the trail tomorrow morning. I'm not in a huge hurry to get back on today, as you can see why. So anyway, that's it for now. Remember our Gold Star families, and Recon out. So I am down off the Appalachian Trail. I'm actually walking on a paved bike route, as you can see. It has nobody else on it because it's raining and it's Wednesday. But this is a 9/10 of a mile side trail that goes down to the Flume Visitor Center. And this is where the hostel will pick me up. The shuttle from the hostel will pick me up there and take me to the Notch. When I get there, I'll figure this mess out. I need food for the next 2.5 days. I need to dry my gear. I need to try to repair some stuff. My backpack has just gotten beaten down. I've got holes all over the thing now. So I gotta see if I can do something about that. And then I gotta figure out my plan, because tomorrow is supposed to rain as well. I'll need to check the weather. I was told by a couple of northbound guys I spoke to 30 minutes ago that tomorrow is supposed to be like flooding and all kinds of stuff. So who knows? I'll get up here. It's early. It's like 12 noon. And get to the hostel, dry out, get something to eat. I have not had a shower in 6 days, so that would be like really good to have. And then we'll go from there. So for now, Recon out. Okay, here I am. This is my bed over here. This is the Notch Hostel in Lincoln, New Hampshire. So I'm gonna take a shower, throw my laundry in the laundry basket. The problem I'm running into is that tomorrow, well, whenever, I've got to cross Cascade Brook and also Eliza Brook. And I'm being told by northbounders that due to all the rain last night and the rain expected tonight, that those two brooks are considered impassable and there's no way to get past those. So I'm gonna have to figure that out. I don't know if I sit out a day here. I hate to do that. I could flip forward and try to hike a different section, but that creates a bunch of logistical issues trying to get back and forth. So more to follow on that one, but definitely don't want to, get myself killed trying to cross a raging brook. So more to follow. So I'm at the Notch Hostel in Lincoln, New Hampshire, and I had time to go up and get a beer and a couple tacos, and then they're going to do a run into town at about 5:30 p.m. today for resupply. So I'm wondering about the Cascades Brook tomorrow. It was impassable today, but I think I can get by it tomorrow using a side trail. We'll talk about that tomorrow. But I went into the hiker box and I found some stuff I needed. So I found some hand sanitizer, and I found some Tylenol, and I found a needle and thread. And I was really happy about that because I was able to make a patch for the pocket on my backpack. Now, as an ER doctor, I know how to sew, and I sewed the Gorilla Tape as a patch right onto the tear in the pocket. And I know what you're thinking. If I came to the ER and he sewed me up like that, I would sue him. Yes, well, good luck with that. Anyway, I'm going to go into town, get some more Pop-Tarts and the kind of stuff I need, and then we'll see about getting back on trail tomorrow.